Oh,
So,
good. We're back. Oh, the silence was killing me. I had so many things to talk about. Hi, everybody.
welcome. Hello. I don't know if.
Hello.
Oh, Robin's back. All right.
Hi, back. I'm Robin.
I'm
Robin,
Dad.
What?
Dad.
Dad?
You've been gone so long. You said you were going for a pack of cigarettes.
I just got back from the grocery store with the milk and cigarettes.
Oh, good. Well, I'm 29 now. And you've missed a lot. So
It was
turns
a
out
horrible store. I had to go to a specific one.
oh, good. I'm glad. Wait, you said you had cigarettes and milk. Where's the milk?
Oh, it turned into yogurt on the way back.
Oh, okay. Well,
was
damn.
was it like 10 years go to the store and 10 years back?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
when you're walking to it, it takes a while. So,
where was this store located?
mm, Mina- Minestrone, Russia.
Famous Russian town, Minestrone. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that near? Is that near Detroit?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Okay.
There's
Edgar, get us out of this.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another brand new episode of the Grand Slam podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Hold up. Excuse me, Edgar, and I'm here with my two lovely co-hosts, Robin and Will from South Texas.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. It is a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm good too. I just got my flu shot.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I need to get my flu shot. I've been talking about doing it, and gosh darn it, I just need to go and do it. And
I need to
it's
be
not.
more active about it. It wasn't until this pandemic, I was like, no, I need to start getting my flu shot.
Mhm.
Well, I've been really good about getting my flu shot. I've gotten it every year for the past 6 or 7 years. I was dumb and I didn't really get a flu shot that often in college.
Yeah, that was me. I just didn't get it until the last time I got it before this last year was I want to say it was senior year of high school, so that was a while ago.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because that
it's
was the first time I really had quote unquote full independence. So I was just like, I don't need to get it. So I didn't get it. I didn't get sick the whole time, but I got lucky. But I was just like, no, I need to get it.
Yeah, I know
That's
from
Robin rolling the dice.
I know for me it's been a while since I've gotten the flu shot too, so it's I'm like maybe soon if I go when I go back down or stuff,
Well, yeah. If you have, I know at the university, it's free for students when they're starting to give it out. So if they're starting to, for anybody who's who listen to this on YouTube or on Spotify, if they're at least at Tamuk and probably other major colleges, if you're a student at a college, you can get the flu shot for free. So
Nice.
make sure to get it.
Yeah.
Same thing with if you haven't gotten your COVID vaccine, get that. Anyway, moving on from that. But
yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do got the next movie we are gonna review today. But before we get to that stuff, there's a couple of news that we want to discuss, and there's one big one that I'll give off to Will and Robin. But let's start off with the gaming news first. Two big things happened. One that came in a while ago, and the other one that was announced recently. And the first one I want to talk about, obviously, is the big announcement of the final fighter in Smash Brothers. In Smash Brothers Ultimate, which was Sora finally came into Smash, which
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not a big. I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I've never played Kingdom Hearts in general at all. But I will say I think Sora from Kingdom Hearts was the best way to end the ballot, or to
Yeah.
end Smash Brothers Ultimate with that DLC.
Yeah.
Me
I'm not
personally.
a big fan of it either. I tried to play it, I can't get into it, but I respect the hell out of it.
Hmm.
Because people do like the game, and I'm not saying I hate it. I don't like. I just can't get into it. There's a difference between the two.
Yeah.
Um, and
I just heard
er,
that there's a bunch of Kingdom Hearts games that like it's really hard to keep up with the timeline unless you're really into it.
and
So it's like, ooh, but
to answer your question, Stefan, about Ultimate means last, no more Smash Bros. Moving forward. This is the last one by Sakurai, the guy who's
mm,
made Smash Bros. Since the
yeah.
first one.
He hasn't,
So
yeah, he hasn't confirmed it. It's just because the main kind of reason for it is because since Ultimate is such a big like project, there's over 89 characters in the damn game. A lot of them there's first party, and there's a lot from like different third parties, from Square Enix, from Microsoft,
yeah.
from a lot of other companies. And the
Oh
game
my god.
the caliber from this whole game, it's really like it's literally impossible that other companies could do it unless you're like Sakurai, in that sense, that he made like this game fucking huge. And it's kind of like weird. It's a bittersweet ending, because at the same time I did want, like, okay, if this last fighter ended with a bang, and they did, and I'm like, if they're gonna make more DLC, it'd be cool. But at the same time, now that, it seems like Smash Brothers with character wise is done, and they'll just probably continue giving updates or more spirits and stuff. But after that, it's probably like Sakurai should take a vacation, as long as he wants, or if he's gonna continue, and he might make some other games like if he did when he did Kid Icarus. So it's a bittersweet ending, but I'm kind of excited to see that if after, like, if Sakurai does take a break, unless he wants to, like, because he hasn't said he's gonna retire. He hasn't said. He still says that he's still gonna continue working on games, but it's like he even said, like, if they make the next Smash game, it's not gonna be as big as this roster, because this was
Yeah.
impossible. And the
I
and Go for it.
I feel well, like I always think that when people say like, "Is this going to be the last one?" and I always say like, I think like, I don't think it is. My reason being is that is such a it's such a popular game that even though there are true fans that'll be like, "Oh, it's not going to be the same. Nothing's going to top Ultimate." Yeah, you're right. Nothing's going to top it. But are you still going to buy the new one for the newer
Yeah, you
console?
are, you little
Yeah, you
piggy.
probably
Mhm.
You're
are.
gonna buy it, aren't you? There's gonna be a new console out in 5 years, and you're gonna say, "But there's Smash Bros. Ultimate 2 now with extra Ultimate sauce," and you're
Now,
gonna buy it because they're gonna add steel chairs and ropes to the matches, so you can't defeat people by knocking them off the stage anymore. You gotta kill them in the video
you
game.
gotta kill.
I have to
Uh,
clarify that because this is a video game. A video game. Um,
I
yeah,
but
yeah, and then
I
they're gonna add Winnie the Pooh, um,
we need the
and Gandalf.
Pooh.
And Gandalf. They're not even doing video games anymore. They're just going to fiction. They're they're gonna add uh Pirates and Sea of Thieves. You're gonna be able to play music and help me, help me.
um,
Give me
I will
anything to
say,
go off of here. Help me.
God damn it. They're gonna add Lionel Messi as the new fighter.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Yeah, they're gonna incorporate it into FIFA. So,
yes,
and John Madden's baseball. They're gonna add John
John.
Madden's baseball. Um, and Will Ferrell
No,
will be there.
they just add John Madden. He's the new fighter. It's just John Madden.
And he can't,
Oh my
but he
god.
can't jump because he doesn't like to
his
fly.
his smash his what's the final smash is
Yeah.
just him like with his marker like writing on the battlefield like you're gonna be coming around this side, bam, and then going this way. It's gonna people fly off the map with the marker.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
And
so
then a bus comes and just hits the guy because John
I
Madden
can't
took
go on
buses.
planes.
Yeah.
I'm scared of planes for
I'm
a good
scared of
reason.
planes for good reasons. And then it's just he drives a bus. It's kind of like a the not the Mario, the Wario mechanic where he gets the motorcycle, right?
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's a similar mechanic, but it's not quite the same.
it's
So
just a giant bus, like a life-size bus that just goes back and forth on the stage.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
It doesn't say Greyhound on it. It says white doggy.
and
That's
his different outfits are of one of them is of like where he was the coach for the 49ers, and then the other is him as the broadcaster guy.
yeah.
Oh.
And he can, and if he loses or something, he just takes the headset off.
Shut up, Stefan.
Seatbelts,
Jesus
everyone!
Christ.
That's
What the
he
fuck?
he sings the Magic School Bus theme when he drives. Seatbelts, everyone! We're gonna go over here! Ah! Bum, ba-dum, bum,
Seatbelts
bum.
everywhere. We're gonna go over here. Bam! And we're gonna.
But he can't sing the song due to copyright, so he just kind of goes bum 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 bum
I
bum
may possibly
bum
have
bum.
brain damage.
Yeah, but when he played baseball, he does all sports. He's a
Yeah.
magic person. He did everything.
Any,
Played cricket
anyway,
for 3 years in England.
Anyway.
I will want to say, like, I think I feel that there's going to be a new one, not anytime soon. I do think it won't be until like way probably when the next console comes out, or even the
Oh yeah.
console after that. I
Nah, they're
don't
just
know.
gonna use it. They're just gonna make another one whenever
No,
Nintendo needs some money.
I think honestly, what will happen is that if a new console does come out by Nintendo, most likely what's going to happen is they're going to make or even soon they're going to do like, oh yeah, get Smash Super Smash Ultimate Deluxe Edition, which has
Mhm.
all of the shit in it.
Yeah. I feel like that's not I feel like well, it's because I've never seen the only time they've done that is when they did it with Mario Kart 8
And
Deluxe, and that's the only
what
time
I'm
they've done it.
saying is,
Yeah.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that since now they have dipped their toes into that pool, they're
Mhm.
now going to. I feel like they're going to do that with Smash Ultimate before they make a new Smash Bros.
Probably. I think
You know
with
what they could? I'm sorry, Edgar. Please continue.
I was gonna say because like with Smash Ultimate, I feel like it's something that they are gonna most likely could do where they just have like a special edition where they have all the DLC combined with Smash Brothers itself. But like the next Smash game, it's like no matter if it's Sakurai coming back, it's like it's not gonna have the big roster. But if it's not Sakurai and it's a new person taking the helm of it, that is going to be a lot of pressure on that person, especially since how big of a legacy not only Sakurai but his company has done for Nintendo with Smash Brothers. So that person, no matter what, is going to be in nothing but stress, and people are going to like.
And I'm
And
just.
it's
I'm
gonna be
still-
Todd Howard.
Oh my god.
Skyrim is Smash Bros. Now.
There we go.
Also, you know what? I've got the answer to what you do. I've got the answer. How do you top Smash Brothers Ultimate with all the things and all of the characters and all the maps? Smash Brothers Ultimate Edition Super Double Deluxe. It has all 152 original Pokemon in it,
Oh god.
including
And now there's even more now.
but this is the original first
The
run,
original,
and you're saying
Indigo.
152. I thought it was only 151. We're
No, it's
including missing no.
Yeah, I was about to say you include missing now.
Yeah, 152 because missing no is there.
That's the thing
And
that's
if you
weird is
play
that
as
like
missing no, the thing about it is it just kind of darts around the screen. You don't
Mhm.
control it, it controls it. It doesn't take your shit. It won't be controlled by the man and the controller and Wi-Fi
this
and
is the one thing.
security card information.
Here's the one thing that kind of makes it confusing for me of like when people ask like, are you a millennial or are you a Gen Z? And it's like, well, technically I'm a Gen Z, but I
You're
grew up with
an
a
elder Gen Z.
I
You're part
grew up
of
with
the
a
caretaker years.
I
Mm.
grew up with a bunch of stuff that millennials grew up with. Like, I mean,
That's
I
because your brother is a millennial.
well
Passed it
that
down, gave you the secrets of the arts,
like I know
taught you the magic.
I only know the original 152 Pokemon. I know very few of the Pokemon that came out since then. Um,
So,
That's
so
because
you,
you're not a real fan. You're a
oh,
you're a
well, no,
poser.
you're right. I'm not a big fan of Pokemon
Well,
anymore.
there we
I
go.
used to
Thanks
be.
for coming to the show, everybody. It's been fun. This is
um,
the end of the Grand Slam.
I do
And
want to
I'm
pick
just
up.
kidding because I also don't know all of the other Pokemon.
I
But
used to be a fan of Pokemon, and now the
they
last.
took
So
away Nurse Joy.
yeah,
No,
they
they
did.
didn't.
Oh, they did.
No, they
They did.
didn't. Surely they didn't.
Later on, they did.
Did
I think that
they?
yeah, I think they did. Like
did they?
I feel like
Did they actually? Nurse Joy.
I don't think that was Nurse Joy in Pokemon X. I
Yeah.
don't think
Oh,
that was
Let me
her.
wow.
see.
She's in Generation 1 and 7. I'm
Pokemon
I'm legitimately
games.
kind of distraught right
Let
now.
me see. Uh,
No,
Nurse
she's in
Joy is placed
Kanto.
inside every Pokemon Center in every town in every game. She's
Yeah,
always
fuck
behind the
you,
Pokemon
Robin.
Center. Yeah.
Hey,
She's
well,
like, is Nurse Joy still in Pokemon? Through her role limited, known, expected through the series and the game change, Nurse Joy will continue to welcome trainers and heal their Pokemon. So yeah,
not if I have something to do about it.
let's
Oh
see.
my God, Robin is Officer Jenny.
I
The
am
pro they
going. I will find Nurse Joy and I will kill her.
she
Kidding.
Stop it, Robin.
oh no, they're
Robin, this is how you get us canceled with the Pokemon community. They're our prime demographic.
let's see.
Any-
They're nerds
Yeah,
who have nothing better to do.
yeah.
oh, that
Shut up,
what
nerds, and listen to this information
what
But
we
I
have to give
said
you.
is apparently is would get us canceled, but what you said doesn't to the Pokemon community.
Yeah, that's because I'm trying to help them. They
Mhm.
need to come to
What did
grips
I?
with as we all do.
but
So
but
the
but
only
yes, I did put Nurse Joy. She's in the new Pokemon game. It's just
so
every Pokemon game, she's wearing like a different outfit that represents the region of Pokemon.
what Pokemons have you guys played?
Oh,
Uh,
I had blue, red, and yellow.
Oh, you had all
oh,
three of the original ones. Damn.
Yeah.
oh damn.
I had crystal, and I wanna say I had gold. I didn't have silver.
I
Mm,
had gold. Granted that was Stefan's gold, but eventually I got it.
gold.
I found silver, so I had both gold and silver,
Oh damn.
and yeah, I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm buying that, I'm taking that. So I had both of them.
Oh,
I also
excuse
had
me.
Emerald, XD, which was the GameCube one, which that one was my favorite one because that was the one where they took the approach of doing like an actual. It was like how you would normally play Pokemon on
Hmm.
the handheld.
Was XD on GameCube or?
Yeah, it was on GameCube, but they were trying to be more like
Mhm.
JRPG with it, which is what I really
Oh,
liked about
okay.
it. It was different. It was fun.
Yeah.
Because it was different compared to the other Pokemon games later on.
Mhm.
Um, so I had gold, XD, silver, eventually emerald, and then I just jumped
I
to
had ruby.
X. I had
Ruby.
X. And
Well,
then
this is I will say because this is gonna come out as like, oh no, the only Pokemon game I've ever played, I've never beaten, I've only played was Pokemon Red, but the one that was like for the GBA Advance. The only reason I know a lot of like Pokemon, like kind of like a lot of Pokemon stuff, is I watched the anime. I've watched the Pokemon anime with the
I mean that's
iconic
how I
song.
did too.
but
Like
also it's because I did have a lot of friends that were really into Pokemon. That they love Pokemon. Even till this day, they love Pokemon, and
oh,
they would tell me what they would play, and they showed me like this online game that was like it was like a fan made game, I think, and like it was like some Pokemon tournament stuff. And you could just combine and create your get your Pokemon, choose which kind of movesets you want to have, and either way, I'm like I didn't know how to use it. I would just get a strong Pokemon, but they would kick my ass with what like this one that looked like a spoon or something, or keys. It was one of those. And
oh,
Oh, Spoonmon. Yeah.
I forgot. I also played State Pokemon Stadium and Snap, and then I tried Pokemon Coliseum. A friend of mine had it, which
mhm.
was the sequel to Stadium.
I will say I do enjoy their spin-off game they did that was I believe from Bandai Namco, which was
Oh, the Tekken.
the Tekken kind of game, Pokemon tournament.
Yeah.
That one's
Oh, and I also got the new Snap, the reboot.
oh Pokemon new Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, that one I have. And then in terms of like traditional Pokemon games of a new one, I really want to play the new one that they're working on right now for the
Oh,
Switch.
oh yeah.
That one I'm excited for because it looks different. It looks close to that of Pokemon XD, which I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yes.
Oh, it's
Fuck
oh, I
yeah.
was about to talk about that one. That one, there's one now that my buddy of mine plays. It's basically it's basically League, but with
Mhm.
Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, Pokemon
Okay.
Unite.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Pokemon Unite. It's basically League of Legends, which is a terrible game for terrible people. I'll say it. Fight me, nerds.
I mean,
Um,
even some people who play League would probably agree with you.
No,
Yeah.
League is unarguably a shit game for shitty people to be
Oh
salty
yeah.
and
Yeah,
trolls, and it's just like a toxic community. But
yeah.
have fun your way. It's
Mhm.
fine. Don't be
Mhm.
salty. Don't be toxic. It's a game. That being said, sometimes we're all salty and toxic because games make you angry. I'm
I
coming
know
at
I
you, Pac-Man Junior,
I know I
um,
have I
or
know I
Mrs. Pac-Man or
had
whatever it is.
I had League of Legends on this computer because my friend played it, and when he installed it on here so he could play his thing on here. And I
Mhm.
was like,
Ugh.
I mean, I don't care. It doesn't take up that much space, so I was like, I don't care. You
Mhm.
can do it. You can put it in.
Yeah. It never really interests me, League of Legends.
Oh, yeah,
Or
me neither.
I
It's
never got really into
hyper
it.
clicky. You gotta click so much. Okay, I played League for like a month and a half, and I don't want to get into why. And Smite exists, and you can use the WASD keys on that instead of just click, 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 click.
Mhm.
It's just better. It's just
Mhm.
better.
Yeah, but
Um,
I know people that played Unite and they do enjoy they enjoy Unite. Some they don't
Yeah.
like. I know some people don't like the microtransaction, which it's agreeable. It's not
Yeah.
that great, but some people say that
No.
they enjoy the gameplay of it. Like they enjoy
what
playing it.
I've played
would you
it
count?
on a friend's I was about to say machine, on a friend's console, and it's the kind of game it is. I thought it was fun. You get to do fun shit. It's enjoyable, but
Mm-hmm.
it,
E.
Would you count Pokemon Go?
yes,
Yeah, I
it
would.
has
Yeah.
made them
Okay.
a shit ton of money. It is part of the Pokemon universe of
Oh yeah.
games. It's
Yeah,
involved.
I
Yeah.
played that for a while when it was like big, and then I kind
Oh
of
yeah. I remember when that game Pokemon Go was huge. It's like we were all excited. We're like, oh shit, Pokemon Go, and we would like walk around
I
like
know a lot of people still play it, but
yeah, which is me. I still play
you still
it.
play
Yeah,
it.
I got off of it for like a while, like years, but then I got back into it because I'm like, oh, and I use it as a way for me to like just start walking around, get my body moving, exercise, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And so I walk around, which I'll talk more about it because it's part of my Untitled segment idea. But yeah, like with Pokemon Go, I would consider that one of those games because I mean
Yeah.
it's a big phenomenon. Like holy shit, that like you forget that game like still like makes them like shit ton of money nowadays. But I think
Especially because they especially also has microtransactions too.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I don't luckily I don't spend shit I don't spend money on that because I don't like
mhm.
if I it's an app game I'm not gonna spend money on that. But
Yeah,
Well,
never.
I know with
I've
I will
spent
say
money on an app game exactly one time, and I'm not proud of it. And it was a
Mm.
stupid game. I mean, I had fun playing it. It was like you
Ooh.
build a castle and you build other stuff, and uh, you can join groups to play with people, and you
Hmm.
can like sell supplies to your group and stuff. And I bought a thing once because I was like, I don't want to grind. Let me just give $5. I've got it. And I'm ashamed because I don't play that game anymore. I don't even have it on my phone anymore. Like that was 2 phones ago. That's how my last phone, the one before that is when it was on. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's not good. Uh fuck that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
Pokemon.
yeah. And the new one, Pokemon Legend Arceus, looks fun. Like I don't mind if it's not like super open world, but like the
Mhm.
game itself kind looks like it's like it's a change
It looks
for
different.
Pokemon.
That's why, yeah, that's why like I want to play it. Like it looks like
Mhm.
it looks new from the formula they're trying to do. It
Yeah.
also looks like a game made for a console instead of made for a handheld. But then they
Yeah.
just ported it to console. I'm looking at you, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Fucking
You.
garbage looking game. Like
I'm looking at
graphics
you,
wise,
Timmy.
I'm pretty sure it's fun if you really like it because I know some of my friends do.
Yeah.
But they also agree, like, why does it look like this? It looks like dog shit.
Mhm. Yeah, because some people like I know some people like the new mechanics of Sword and Shield and they like the gameplay and they still play it to this day, but they all like a lot of people do agree
I'm
like
still waiting for Pokemon Gun. It's like Pokemon Emerald. It was the third one that came out with Ruby and Sapphire, but
But aren't you
Sword
gonna
and
play
Shield.
Pokemon Shining Pearl and Diamond, Robin?
No, because that one, because Shiny Pearl and Diamond, I think, well, isn't it supposed to be kind of similar to that of like Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Ivy, where they kind of,
No.
Do you mean
I think
Eevee?
No,
Eevee.
no. From what I've
I would
from
Pokemon Crip and Pokemon Blood.
oh my god, Stefan.
Oh my god.
But from what I've seen from the gameplay, it's a remake of Diamond and Pearl. It's not so
Okay.
like
I
it's
mean,
not because
I'm probably not gonna get it because I'm
yeah.
not. I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah, because I know with
So
Pokemon, with Let's Go Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee, those were like instead of battling the Pokemon and then capturing them, you would throw it like with your Switch with your Joy-Con, and in this
yeah,
when you do battle the Pokemon, you grab it. So it's basically like the original, like it's a straight up remake of
yeah. I mean, I didn't
yeah,
like. I'm not like I don't want to get it because I never grew up with it. But
yeah,
I'm not annoyed about it. Like as
yeah,
I was with Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Shield, yeah. And
So
but I guess back to the Smash topic of like, oh, I know some people were like, oh, why this character? Why not that? And I'm like, for me, the reason it makes sense why Sora was in Smash, like back to this convo, was
yeah,
because one, it's I felt like it was the most impossible character you could ever get in Smash because not even when they interviewed Sakurai, it's like not the toughest character they were able to like was the most difficult to get back into Smash Ultimate was Cloud himself. And that's
yeah,
because of how strict Square Enix is.
yeah,
And then as the ballad went on, they showed the DLC. They showed that they were in good partnerships with Microsoft, and they got Banjo Kazooie in Smash, which was like a fan favorite and was such a big thing. And they also added Dragon Quest in it.
it originally was a Nintendo product.
Yee. And they were really good about being like buddy buddy with Microsoft so they could get Banjo in it. And they as it went on, they also got Hero, but they were difficult on getting what songs to get because it was a strict thing with it. Because even with when Cloud came in, it was just Cloud, a stage, and 2 songs from Final Fantasy VII, and that's
Mhm.
all he got. That's how fucking strict Square Enix is. And then to get a surprise that they brought in Sephiroth and they brought in 9 songs with it, I was like, whoa, holy shit. And the only reason they were difficult, but the reason Sora is real difficult is not only is he owned and not only is there property with Square Enix in there, so it's already a bitch to try to see if they can get him in with music, but there's also one other company you have to get through. and that is none other than Disney. Because as everyone knows, Kingdom Hearts is basically if they combine Final Fantasy with Disney characters. And Sora himself has stuff with Disney, and Disney, if you're going to compare how strict they are, Disney makes Square Enix look like they're buddies with Nintendo, like they would give them anything. And so it was like, it's like, how can they work this work with this? Like, what can they do with it? And the only thing that you see that's Disney in the entire reveal when they showed Sora was Sora's Keyblade had the Mickey Mouse ears keychain. That is the only thing you see that is a Disney character in there. Like Goofy and Donald, they were supposed to be
fuck with the mouse.
Sakurai had to sell his, as the jokes go around, Sakurai had to give him all the money and his firstborn child to the mouse. And because even like in the pictures that they have, like in the stage that they made for Sora, like you're in those scenes, they have Donald and Goofy in those in the original in the games. But in Smash, they replaced Donald and Goofy with a boat and a star.
Yeah.
And it's like, but at the same time, either just having Sora in there, I literally had my jaw dropped. I was like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, he actually did it. And
I do have to agree with what Stefan said. Imagine getting James Bond into Smash. If you want to talk about difficult.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you want to talk, I think Sora was quote unquote easy to get compared to James Bond because fucking MGM or Ion Studios or the Broccoli family specifically are huge sticklers about the James Bond property.
Well, I can imagine about that. Yeah.
Like I would feel like, I think like just to have, I don't know. I don't remember if it's in Ultimate. I think there's a landmine item you could use.
Yeah.
Is it in Ultimate?
A landmine? Yeah.
Yeah, that is originally from GoldenEye. From the rare version of GoldenEye.
The only reason I feel like Sora's more difficult than James Bond is because if James Bond was that difficult, we wouldn't have the 007 car in Rocket League. So that's why it's like, if they were that difficult, then yeah, because I feel like
it's different. I think it's different for a car compared to the person James Bond.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's a bit more difficult to get the actual person James Bond into anything that isn't a James Bond game. It's easy to get a car because you just have to talk to the car manufacturer and they'll be like, yeah, sure. And then you just talk to, hey, we're going to use the James Bond version of this car. It's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, it's different between using an Aston Martin than, hey, can we use either Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, either of these people to play to do Bond in our fighting game?
Yeah.
So like, well, no, we're not going to just let you. It's not that easy to do that with the actual character compared to the car.
Oh, well, see, what you do is you change the character's name and you use Daniel Craig. All you have to do is get his permission, and then you just put him in a tuxedo because that's easy. And then you say, like, "Hi, my name is Johns, Baines Johns."
God damn it.
And everyone, and then he winks at the camera and says, "Get it?" And everyone goes, "Nah," and then you move on, right?
God damn it. I will say, like, I remember, like, when did Snake come into Smash?
He came in Brawl.
In Brawl, yeah.
Yeah. He also he came in the same time around Sonic did, which was in Brawl as well.
I always think, like, if you're gonna have Snake in Smash Bros, you could easily do James Bond too. But it's just the problem is with the licensing for the character itself.
Yeah.
Because the character is what's the most expensive thing.
But the only reason I think that with Bond, it's I think the thing with Bond that would be easier is because compare, because it's Disney, and at the end of the day, they still weren't able to get any Disney characters to show up on the stage or in the background or have as like a moveset with Sora. And so with like, and with James Bond, it's like I've seen like there's licensing with different games that they've add like certain weapons and certain cars and stuff. And so it's like I can understand like having the character himself, but like having any property that's like similar with James Bond, I don't think it's as difficult as it is as getting Goofy and Donald to be part of Sora's moveset, or having at least the mouse logo on anything. Because in the door, his Spinal Smash, like that door closing, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a heart or Mickey Mouse's ears, but they had to change it to like the Smash logo.
I know a lot of people were upset with like seeing this Final Smash. Like, that's it? That's the Final Smash?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, what are you going to expect? You're not going to like. It already took them an arm and a leg just to get Sora into it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't get everything.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like Sakurai and the team knew that no matter who the last character they were going to add into Smash, there was going to be an abundance of people who were going to be mad that it wasn't a character they wanted.
Yeah,
like there's going to be
like apparently like Master Chief is a big one.
Yeah, Master Chief, Crash Bandicoot, and like for me, it's like I didn't really mad. I'm like I don't really care who was the last character to join into Smash. I just wanted to be a character that would make a big impact and would be like, this is a great way to end Smash.
Those three would have made a big impact. I feel like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel like Master Chief. If it was a Sora, I feel like Master Chief could have been like that same like big send off. I don't for Crash Bandicoot. I don't know why Crash doesn't seem like that character that like, oh, it's the big like ending to it. I felt like Crash would have been like something like in the middle of the DLC roster, but he doesn't seem like that big send off. And with Sora, I feel like with Sora, the way they made the trailer, how they represent how it ended, and how it was a send off, especially how the ending of it, like how it's just Mario and Sora shaking hands, and it's just the whole like roster just there. It was nice. It was a nice send off that they had with Sora. It made a lot of sense because not only is the character there's a huge fan base of the character here in America, in the America and overseas in Japan. Because I know with Master Chief, that's a character that would have been super exciting for North Americans. But like if you're someone from like overseas, like Japan, like a lot of people don't play Halo because in Japan the Xbox doesn't do really well there. But I feel that's why I'm like with Sora, it kind of made sense that both sides of that would satisfy both sides, even though you're gonna have people that are like, oh, why couldn't it be like Goku in Smash, or it could have been like this or that in Smash, and it's like, you're not gonna please everyone at the end of the day. At the end of the day, because
why not Monk from the American TV show Monk?
Fucking Monk.
It is just Tony Shalhoub going, I don't really like to touch people, and then someone punches him, he just goes because he doesn't like being touched.
He doesn't like getting touched.
I've never seen Monk.
Add Frasier to Smash. Well, Miles, would you like a nice sherry? Oh, Frasier, yes. And then somebody knocks on the door, and who is it? It's Mario. We got the fight, and then he goes, Dad. And, then
let's get Dad. Dad.
Oh,
well,
but but it's at the end of the day, I was happy with the pick. I was excited for it, even though I wasn't a fan of it, and I know some people weren't. But I'm like, I thought it was cool. I liked. I'm like, sure, it could have been like, oh, I wanted Spyro and this and that. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, the more I think about it, the more like it makes sense how he was the way to send off Smash, and I guess that's all I have to say about it, of the Sora and Smash.
Yeah.
The other thing of gaming news.
How long have we spent on that?
A long time.
We spent a good while.
It's
Hour
important.
and 11 minutes on it.
Well,
So
it started off
it
us
is
talk.
important.
It started off with us talking about Smash, and then it turned around and became Pokemon, and then it came back to Smash. And the other one, we'll make this one the next one quick, and then we'll go to the other news, and then we'll go to the other one.
To the review.
The next one is the leak that's always been leaking until they finally announced it, which Rockstar finally just announced. Hey guys, that leak that went on? Yeah, it's real. Rockstar's GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition is releasing this year, so it's releasing soon, and apparently next week they're going to be showing more of it. So hopefully that means a gameplay reveal of what they've done with it, because they said that it's a remaster on visually and improvements on gameplay wise on the three games, which the three games are GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. So hopefully, what I'm not expecting like GTA 5 graphics on this, because they did say it's gonna be on the Unreal Engine.
You shouldn't at all.
Because it's all like, oh, it's gonna look like this. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm not expecting them to make it like GTA 6, because I don't think they're spending that much time. It's a way. I'm just hoping that it's a graphic upgrade where it smooths out the the visuals and the animations, making it look neat, and gameplay wise tweak a lot of the some of the issues that with those games had, and just make it have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want from it, because I've never played any of those. I've only played around with some of them, but I've never fully beat them. So it's going to be a new experience with it. So hopefully next week, crossing fingers, they show what they have for it, so we could be like, okay, to be excited or to be worried, but who knows? And that's all we got to say. And that's all I got to say, unless anyone has anything else to say about that GTA trilogy that was announced.
I got nothing.
Not really. I mean, I'm just excited for it. It's coming. Hopefully, it comes out this month around the time because on the 22nd of October is the 20th anniversary of GTA 3. So
nice. That is true. So it makes sense whether they're good. Hopefully, it comes out either the mid of October or in November. Who knows? But the last of the news that's coming out, I will give this off to Will and Robin, because they know more about it than I do. So hopefully I'll learn more about it. So excuse
Welcome
me.
to Will and Robin's real news. That's right. We have real news from the world of entertainment, from Hollywood, California, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, the union that represents the people who work on television shows and movies behind the scenes. They represent 60,000 employees in across the country, and they have, for the first time in their 128 years of existing, they have allowed. They voted in a high turnout. 90% turnout rate for the union, voting overwhelmingly in support. 98.68% voted yes to authorize a national strike.
Yeah.
Now, we don't get political on this podcast. This is news. So, what does that mean in terms of entertainment? That means that unless the what are they called? They are called, unless the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which is like, that's the union, quote unquote, for the people who make and pay motion picture costs, right? And television costs. So these are the two groups that are in conflict with one another. You got the people who run all the studios, and you've got the people who make all the movies and the television shows. The the IATSE wants better contracts, better working conditions, uh, yada yada,
Better
uh,
pay, I believe,
better pay. Uh,
especially because of what they're doing.
right.
Like,
So that they have to work with a lot of people. They gotta. They want a better cut from streaming services.
yeah, the pandemic is what really drove this.
Right. So this is
Because yeah,
pandemic related.
Mhm.
And the result of that was that they wanted to negotiate with the studios. The studios are, um, as of now, as I understand it, are not negotiating um, well or at all.
mhm,
And so the union voted as their trump card that they would strike. Now, they are not on strike
at the
right
moment.
now, but I read an article earlier that said unless the studios come to the table, the strike would happen in a few days, not a few weeks. So this is something that's going to affect entertainment. So what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is if they call a strike, it's walk off.
Yeah,
All of these workers are going to leave work their jobs. They're going to stop working. They're going to go to the picket lines. So that means there's shows on Netflix or TV that they're going to be their release dates are going to be pushed back because they're not ready.
same with
Uh,
movies.
Same with
Mm.
movies.
Like, I have a feeling that if this happens, that the one of the biggest movies that's going to supposed to be coming out at the end of the year, the Spider-Man movie, that's probably going to get pushed back because I
Mhm.
don't think they're fully finished. So, and even if they are finished filming, the editors are still a part of that union, so they could still walk off.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. And there's another possibility that other unions will enter into what are called like into solidarity actions.
mhm,
So uh the writers guild, for example, and none of this is part of what we're doing, what's going on, but it's all a possibility. The
Mhm.
mhm.
writers guild could go into solidarity action and say, well, in solidarity with the theater, uh and god, I keep fucking up this name, the scroll uh
Mm.
along with the theatrical stage employees union, we're also going to strike. So not only do you have the people who are like behind the scenes, you have the writers,
Mhm.
and you know some actors might also join in. I mean, it's all
There
a
are
possibility.
there are quite a bit of actors who are very for this strike.
Right.
Like, I
Mm.
know Seth Rogen is an advocate for it and is very like, yeah, is very uh pro them. I can't because I can't pronounce the name, but um
The IATSE.
IAT, yeah. So
So so that's happening. That's a piece of news that is going to be affecting the entertainment industry. Now they
yeah,
aren't on strike yet, but they didn't what they're not going to do is have 90% voter turnout, 98% of their voters that turned out to vote say yes, we should strike, and then just let the studios go, well, we're not really going to come to the table, and then they just sit down and go, well, I guess we lost. So
yeah,
if the studios don't come to the table, they're striking, folks, and
yep.
the entertainment that we've been enjoying is going to be pushed back, and that's just something that we uh are gonna be dealing with in the world of entertainment. And yeah,
How long did the writer strike go on? Because that was back in
uh
what, 07 or 08? It was 08 and went on till 09.
let's
Um,
see.
Mm.
100. Let's see. Hollywood's writer's strike ends after 100 days.
Okay.
So it's Hollywood's longest work stoppage. Oh, yeah, February 2008. Wait a minute. The 2000, yeah, okay, so 2007, 2008. Yeah, that was
Okay.
the writers' strike. So it was
Mhm.
100 days.
Okay.
Mm.
So, hopefully, that if this does happen, because I'm trying to say this so that way I'm not being biased anyway, because we're not supposed to do that on this show. But hopefully that something gets worked out, that we can go to the movies without feeling guilty. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, I feel like people that work behind the scenes, a lot of like writers, the crew that work with lights, sound, the editors, even animators, a lot of
Makeup.
those like they're the ones that
makeup, yeah.
like they're the backbone of the film. Like they're the ones that
Hmm.
make the film what it is. Like sure, you have the actors and you have your directors, but like the crew, the behind the scenes, the ones that control everything, it's like you need those in order for your movie to be a movie. And I
I'm surprised this didn't happen back in the 40s, back when. 'Cause if we've seen the movie Mank, I'm surprised that that didn't happen back then. Um,
mm,
Well,
but
yeah, again, I have to say that this is the first time in 128 years of this
mhm,
union existing that
yeah.
they have gone on a national strike.
Hmm.
So I'm not like I don't know the full history of this union, but
Yeah.
they may have had local strikes. They may have had strikes at certain
Maybe like
uh
studio strikes.
right. They
Probably
might have had
make much more
studio
sense.
strikes,
Yeah.
but that was back when, the studios were little fiefdoms. I mean, if you worked for, pick a studio,
MGM.
MGM. If you worked for MGM, you worked for MGM. You had a
Yeah.
contract, boy. Yeah,
Mhm.
you was with MGM. You couldn't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go across the street and I'm gonna work for
Fox or Universal.
Fox or Universal or whatever." The
Yeah.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
He was like, "No, you were with them. That's where your contract was." And I'm sure that some of the behind the scenes people like moved around maybe, but like actors
Mhm.
were like stuck in some
Yeah.
ways. But so maybe they protest, excuse me,
Even
struck
then,
at the
yeah. I was about to.
individual studios, but
Yeah.
this is national.
Yeah. Wait. So I know that me and Edgar we're going to be going to see the new James Bond movie tomorrow, but we also had to say, like, we got these tickets before we even found out that before the vote even went in.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we were like, okay, we're still going to go see it because
mhm,
we purchased it or before the vote was official.
mhm, yeah.
So,
Yeah, it came at a weird time because like we got these and then like a couple of days later, that's when I remember hearing it from Will about like the strike that's happening. I was like, oh,
or
whoops.
about to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, like I go these, but it's like I don't. As some like a lot of us are like moviegoers, and we know that a movie that's made like this, like James Bond or like any film at all, we know that without the crew and without the writers, without the animators or the special effects workers or like any crew member in a movie and studio film, it's like without them you have nothing. You
Mhm.
literally have nothing. And obviously, I personally think they should be paid way better than they do. Especially animators should be animators and visual effects people like deserve to get paid much better.
Oh
And
yeah,
Mhm.
they get paid nothing. I
mhm,
mean, they have contracts. So like, um, well, like back in the day, like big studios used to subcontract out to smaller ones, so that company would get paid the check that already wasn't that large for the amount of work that had to go in it, and then
Yeah.
they would turn around and pay their animators even less so that the company could have more money, right?
Hmm.
So like animators don't make a lot, like
Yeah, they
for the
treat them.
amount of work they have to do.
They treat them a lot like shit, which is just fucked up. It's like there. I know I've been hearing that there's this like animator documentary, that's on YouTube that you could watch. It's about the life, like behind the scenes of the life of Pi, the life of Pi. I forgot. And
By
they
Ang Lee.
Ang Lee, and they talked about like how poorly treated their animators were, and there's
Wow.
even some points where they would even say like there's times where like even if you're an animator for there's a chance they won't even credit you in the credits, like your name won't even be there, but yet
God
you
damn.
worked on it. And so it does kind of make me mad that they don't get the respect they do, like of and like any famous Hollywood celebrity or any famous Hollywood actor, because they have a lot to do with the films that they work in. It's like hell. It's like with any famous actor, like or like a Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, or like any directors. It's like they should know that like with their people who work behind the scenes, like they deserve the same respect as any actor does, because they put in as much work, if not even more work than an actor, because of what they have to deal with and what they're going through. And that's why I'm like it's sad that that's how it is. And it's like it's something that it's fucked up in Hollywood, and I really hope this strike is successful and gets some the respect and the earnings that they deserve. For me.
Also, a
Yeah.
follow-up, um, good news in some ways, uh, shows so they have a different contract with certain companies. So, um, BET, Cinemax, HBO, Showtime, and Stars, most likely will not be affected by this at all because they have their own contract with them.
Wait, who?
Also,
Sorry, Stars and what?
Stars, Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, BET. They
Okay,
all have their own contract with uh
when it comes
like
to the TV
pay
shows. Yeah.
like pay TV. So you have to pay for those as extras. They also have a similar contract with like music videos or single production shows, low budget theatrical productions,
Mhm.
commercials, and Broadway shows would also not be affected.
Okay.
Um
Mhm.
so I mean there will still be they will still be working for some things, but just not for the major studios, standard television and Netflix, all the other streaming uh all the other streaming services that have like their own shows.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
there are some things that they will continue, their employees and their union members will continue to work on because they have seemingly better contracts there. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
um,
Nice.
Well, there's
well, that
some good news, but
yeah, there's a little bit of good news. If you want to go to the theater, uh, you know, it probably won't be affected because they have different contracts.
so if we were
Mhm.
to go see a movie, like I'm just hoping, like I just wanted to go without having to feel guilty about
Oh
it.
no, no, no! All that work got done months and months ago.
Mhm.
Okay,
The
yeah.
the thing about strikes is you can, and this is just like so everybody knows. The thing about strikes is you can only support strikes when they're happening. Like you
Hmm.
can help gear up and things like that, but like
Yeah.
Mhm.
you like if you wanted to support this strike, if they do go on strike because they're not on strike yet, I assume you can go to the IATSE website, which is easy enough to find, and they might have a strike fund or something.
Okay.
Mhm.
But you can only do that when they go on strike, which they are not yet.
Probably, I'm gonna do that once they do. If once they do go on strike, see if I can try to donate.
And once
Anyway,
they go on
but
strike, the if they do go on strike, the studios might turn around pretty quickly and just go to the table. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of variables to all of this, and
Yeah.
that's just
Hmm.
what it is.
It's
Yeah.
just
That's
we kind of have to see what happens when the strike
Yeah.
happens. So it's
Yeah.
like,
and
yeah,
Because I could have.
that's been the d
Yeah.
entertainment real news.
Yeah.
yep.
Because I was gonna say, because I can imagine that the things that will get really like majorly affected are a lot of films that are still in production. Because like films
Oh yeah.
that like, for example, Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho, that film is not going to get affected because it's already been shown at a lot of film festivals recently. So the
Yeah.
film's already done, and like their Marvel's Eternals is already done. It's really a big maybe on Spider-Man Far From No Way Home.
I would say the movies to keep an eye out that might get affected are the ones that will be coming out late November, all of December.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like anything, like literally anything that's supposed to be planned to come out next year. I feel like
yeah.
those are the ones
Oh,
that are going to get.
well, definitely next year if the strike is going to happen
Mhm.
soon.
It's going to be a
Um,
major effect on them because like if they're in productions and they're trying to plan to be released like in 2022, it's like if the strike continues and it lasts for like a long time, yeah, it's gonna majorly affect a lot of studios and a lot of films that were planning to go there, and they're gonna be delayed until further notice.
Well,
Hmm.
that's been the probably the one time we're going to talk about something political.
Wasn't
Yeah.
political, it was just news.
It was news.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the only reason
about-
the only reason I let it because I do think it's an important topic and issue to have here, and it's also film and entertainment like wise related to like what we talk about on the show, and
Yeah.
it's something that I support, and it's something that I think is really important to talk about. So that's like yeah,
Solidarity forever.
Stop it.
yeah.
All right.
And now to what we're doing now, which is the movie review, which I'll be honest. I kind of thought I like around the time when this movie's coming out, I was like, well, I want to talk about it maybe, but then I was like, nah, it's a movie that should be for Halloween and stuff. And that movie, ladies and gentlemen, is not any of not none of the not Night of the Living Dead, not Dawn of the Dead.
Not a Cesar Romero movie, not a
No.
good zombie movie.
None of those, or not even not even one of those. It's Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which has a cast, and it's a movie that released on Netflix, and yeah, it's a Zack Snyder film. And if you know Zack Snyder, you know what you most likely can get with this film. And as let me just say, I know me and Robin, we've seen it before. I rewatched it. I don't know if Robin fully rewatched it. I know this was Will's. I believe this was your first time, Will, watching Army of the Dead.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. That was probably a good thing.
Yeah, let's get fully into it. But just quick before everyone, I feel like we're all like agreed that this wasn't a good film or a fun film at all.
No.
Okay, here's the thing. It wasn't good. It wasn't fun. But it was a ride.
Oh.
I mean,
I hated it. But the acting was bad and the effects weren't that cool. But also the story wasn't great and I didn't like it.
Yeah, oh, from everything how it went on, I think there's a lot of from the moment I knew Zack Snyder was going to make this film and his name was in it, I knew there was going to be some sort of quote unquote film gimmick he was going to add in it that I knew I was going to like. For example, when he made the recent Snyder cut of Justice League, he made this border and put it in a certain film ratio and try to give an excuse to it, but I don't agree and it's kind of BS and it's just his vision, but I still hated it. And this one in Army of the Dead, he does this thing where in any scene, literally any scene, no matter if it's a close up or if it's a wide shot, but if it's any of the characters or if it's trying to focus on one, it literally gives this weird foggy blur effect around everybody. And I don't know why he added it. It was very distracting. It was terrible. It annoyed me throughout the entire film. It wasn't a good choice to add in the movie. I know it was an aesthetic choice. I don't think it was a good aesthetic choice. And it just made the film really distracting and just not really great to look at. And it did cause dead pixels in there, which there's time to time will you see like certain like dead pixels around the screen in certain scenes. And
Let me keep in mind, there's dead pixels in this movie. A movie that cost them $70 to $90 million to make.
yep.
This is a big budget movie. And they had dead pixels, which means they had shitty cameras.
Oh man.
How is that?
But like, Robin, you have to understand that when you have dead pixels in a film, that was an artistic choice. You see, it was all planned. They didn't realize that we were going to be.
God damn it!
It's a metaphor, Robin.
It's a metaphor.
Robin, it's a metaphor.
Metaphor, Robin.
It's a very deep movie. It talks of the human experience, of needs and wants and love lost, and zombies.
I will say right off the bat, as Will just said, the story is really, really shite. Really, really bad. I think the person that caused this movie to be really bad, like the character that I hated the most. Also, there's going to be spoilers, which who gives a shit?
Yeah, we're not holding back anything. This is not a Q4 situation where it's just fresh and y'all should watch it. This is it's been out a minute. You're going to hear about it.
Yeah. And for me personally, the character that I hated the most in this film was the and here's the thing, I don't remember any of their names. I just know this character was a really close family member to Dave Bautista, to Drax.
The daughter.
The daughter. I guess the daughter. I don't know. I'll just call it the daughter of Dave Bautista.
No, it is the daughter. Like, that's
is it?
Yeah, that's who it was supposed to who it is.
Because I rewatched it and they still never really fully explained it. But because it's like, in the picture, I guess because she had her own mother, but the mother, that wasn't his like wife that he killed, because his actual wife was killed with the daughter of his at the beginning of the film, and they got crushed by the thing. That's why it's like, I don't know if it's his daughter. I think it's like a family member. It's
probably a stepdaughter. I don't know. Like, it's probably like they did say daughter. Like,
yeah.
I remember that. Like, they said, so your daughter's taking a like. So your daughter's tagging along, like, yeah, she's just taking us over to the quarantine.
Okay, yeah. But anyways, the Dave Bautista's daughter is the worst character in the entire fucking film, and is the reason that everyone dies, because she's being a little bitch, the biggest little bitch.
She was trying to save the person from the people, because
and it's like, what is she?
Kids.
She's like, but it's like, because here's the thing, she works at this weird facility thing and stuff, and the lady that she's trying to save, the lady told her, stay with my kids, if anything happens, take care of my kids. And what is the thing she does? I'm not going to take care of your kids, fuck your kids, I'm going to go save you because I'm a good person. And And
I'm not gonna take care of these kids, but I will go risk my life and
like
everybody else's
I'll
to save you.
you and it's like I'm gonna risk all my life for what I do because I me, and it's like and then Dave Bautista's like, what do you what's like what are you gonna do when you go in? And it's like, you have nothing. And she's like, I don't care, I'm gonna go in. It's like, either I go with you or I go in and die. And then he's like, hey guys, she's coming in, and she has no weapon, she has nothing. She's literally just standing there the entire film doing nothing and just being a little bitch and just whining and shit. And as Dave Bautista says, he tells his daughter, don't you wander off. If you don't you ever wander off. And what does she do? She wanders off and to try to find the person. And what happens? She gets caught by one of the main zombies. And then all this fiasco comes around and she does all this shit. And she's like, oh, we got to save her. And Dave Bautista's already like, everyone's died and everything's got fucked up. But he's like, I got to go save my daughter because she's my daughter and she's a little bitch. And they go in and they have to save the daughter. And then when that happens, they're like, and here's the thing. She goes in there, tries to save the person that she's trying to save. And that person dies. That person just fucking dies.
Yeah, the whole point of it, the whole point of her to go in, and then the fucking girl fucking dies at the end of the movie.
Then everything she was in was for nothing. She literally caused
the whole point of this whole movie was
exactly
all for nothing.
That whole story arc, as well as just the whole movie, was just like
it was pointless.
It didn't need to happen. There was no point to it.
They only did it just to make the film longer, and it didn't have to be long because this movie was what, 2 hours or something.
It was like 2.5 hours. Like, this movie would have been at least fun if it were taking place during the zombie outbreak of Las Vegas.
I remember we were talking about this. Was like the issue with the film is, they're trying to do this thing where it's like, it's a heist film, but taking place with zombies. And the zombies are never really the main focus other than these small things. And of course, when it comes to a zombie film, some of the great zombie films don't really focus that much on zombies, but they focus on the characters. So when you focus on the characters, it makes it interesting. And that's because it's during it's a survival for they're trying to survive in those instances. And it's they're trying to do something new, but the thing they're trying to do something new doesn't feel like a zombie movie. It just feels like a shitty heist film. And it just comes with these other inconveniences. And that intro, the intro of the film is pretty cool, but it's the intro, and the intro should have been the whole film because it was a much more the intro looked like a much more interesting film than what we got, because it's you can get creative. Sure, the movie has a CG tiger in it. Who gives a fuck? It's
all right, that tiger was kind of cool though. Fuck you.
And it's it would have been
because
cool.
It was a Siegfried and Roy joke.
Yeah, but it would have been cooler if they had it. If they took in place during when they were going into Vegas to quarantine and stuff, where they're all going in there and you have these people that are dressed in it looks like Las Vegas. Have fun with how the zombies look in Las Vegas. You can have a zombie Elvis, get zombie dancers, zombie strippers and male strippers as well. Just how the intro looked.
Real quick, Edgar, just on what you just said. We need to write a movie called Zombie Strippers. Continue with your thought, but Zombie Strippers copyright is coming to you from the Grand Slam Live.
Yes.
Soon to hit a desk somewhere at Netflix, but blah 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 not until after the strike. Okay, cool. Go on.
Yeah, but it's and they showed the intros of these characters they're doing all these stuff, a guy with a blade chain cutting other zombies up, and then they see this couple and they have to shoot him in the intro, and it's that looked like a much more interesting, and it looked like we could have cared for these characters and know who they were with this intro, but we don't really get that much of fun characters when we get to the main film. It's the whole intro seemed like it could have just been a movie on its own. They could have just fleshed it out and made it a fun movie. That looked like it was that intro was much more fun than anything we just got with Army of the Dead, which is
I will say so This
Yes.
movie, yeah. I want to just continue on because you're just, Edgar, it's understandable. You're just continuously ranting, but like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
I got one thing to say though, Robin, and if you just want to get to the parts of the movie, the
yeah. Go
one,
ahead.
what was the cause of all of Las Vegas being turned into a hellish zombie scape?
A blowjob.
A blowjob. That's
Yep.
right. Roadhead led to all of Las Vegas, Nevada
And that
being
is
destroyed.
why we're saying that sex is a sin, guys.
Right.
Don't do it.
And now, if you'll turn to page 47 of your hymnals, we will all sing. Give us that old time religion. Give us that old time religion. Give us
Oh.
that old time religion. I know this is copyright free. Bum, bum,
Boom,
dum, bum,
boom,
bum, bum,
boom,
bum.
boom,
All
boom,
right,
boom.
we're all going to go back to church now. Robin's going to get the snakes, and Edgar is going to get out the chickens and the candles, and we're all just going to have a nice little prayer circle.
Have a nice little voodoo session. Anyway,
Oh my
We have a
God.
very interesting church.
Yes.
We are the
Yeah.
church of the self-righteous many and few.
I do want to say though, there's only I only know one character name in this movie, and that's Dieter.
Oh, the
Who's
German locksmith?
Yeah, the German locksmith.
Peters.
He's
There's
the only.
Peters,
Who's Peters?
Who's
That's
that?
the thing. There's only
the
one movie I know.
helicopter pilot. and
Yeah, I
his
know. So here's the
her
thing.
last name is Peters.
Oh yeah. This is
I will say, even though this movie's shit, I still, even though she was green screened in, I really like her as the character.
like,
Wait, who?
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. So the girl who plays like the helicopter, like the fighter character, she was green.
Natara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was green screened in, and she was added in last minute. The reason because she was played originally she was going to be played by another actor, but then
Another
news came
comedian
out
actor.
another comedian actor. But then it turns out that comedian actor became he was an abuser and he did sexual harassment and stuff. You know what's going on with Hollywood. You know all that shit, and so they cut him out from the. I forgot the actor's name, but he was in like a lot of like CBS shows.
I have a picture of his face. Give me a second.
Is there an
This man.
yeah, but since that happened, they took him out and they replaced that actor with her, and so there's scenes where you can tell that she's acting on her own. So like that scene where they're trying to recruit her, it's like two different, like it cuts from like to Dave Bautista and that other girl to the pilot, and it's like they go back and forth to it, and you can tell that they're like from two different scenes. But did you find the name, Robin?
Yeah. Well, not the
Oh
name.
yeah, Delia.
Yeah.
Something Delia. Let me
Yeah.
find it.
Mm-hmm. But like
even
even
though-
like in
Chris
any
Delia.
Chris Delia. Yeah, that was the guy who was originally going to play the pilot, but then news popped up and they took him out of the film entirely and replaced every scene with her in the last minute. Hence why, excuse me, a lot of scenes that are with her seem very like, even though she could be
not a lot. Every scene
Yeah.
she was in she was green screened in.
Yeah. And like she was either green screened in or they had like a camera that was just like facing with her. And she was like, even scenes that looked like she was with the characters, like you can tell she wasn't really with them. Like it was with this different guy. And so it was, and it's weird when you like, even after like I rewatched the film and I paid attention to that, it made it even more strange and kind of awkward knowing that she like she's just talking to herself through this. It doesn't feel like she's part of it. Like that's what it made it like really weak. Like it's so strange now
what makes
I
rewatching
thought
it.
she did a good job.
Yeah,
But
that's the
that's
thing.
the
Yeah,
No. She did a good
Yeah.
job, but that's because she's not acting off of what like she's not acting. She's acting how she thinks that the other characters are reacting
Mhm.
from her.
yeah,
But because she's not really with them, she doesn't know. So she kind of stands out from the others in terms of acting.
Yeah, like there's this
So-
scene where she has like this whole thing where she's saying that like certain people are very suspicious around her, especially like the main guy that works for the guy that's telling him to go to this heist. As you can tell, she's the only one in focus, and everyone else is in this shitty blurry effect.
Oh yeah.
That's where you
Also,
can.
when she smoked, the smoke from her cigar looks like
It was CG.
shitty
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, that was really
and that's
bad.
just me as a cigar smoker. I was like, that's not how smoke works. Like, smoke doesn't work like that when you're outside. It was like obnoxiously thick smoke, and it did this perfect thing where it swirled, and I was like, not when you're puffing on a cigar, it comes out anyway. That's
Yeah.
Will from South Texas talks tobacco, everybody. But yeah, it looks CG as hell.
But she like I don't know with Dita, I kind of like his character a bit, just a bit, but I really like the helicopter character. Which
Yeah, Tig Notaro Peters.
Yeah, she's just funny. I like her. I just like the way that she was, she was acting in it, because she was the only one that stood out to me as like, oh no, she's just having fun with it.
Yeah, because not only was she a standout, but she was a literal standout.
Yeah,
through the whole film. But I know for me personally, none of the like she did a fine job. Like she had some interesting stuff. Like you could tell she wasn't taking anything seriously. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that. But like at the end of the day, like none of them were really interesting. And I know that the German dude, he's the most popular character that everyone likes. Hence why they announced not only did they announce, but the movie's already released, which is supposedly a prequel to Army of the Dead, which it has him in it, the German dude. And I just question why they're making a what's the reason for that? It's like they're doing a prequel with this. Was like, why not make the movie about that whole quarantine thing? Because I'm just gonna repeat over and over. That's the more interesting thing about it. And
Army of Thieves comes out. It's called Army of Thieves, and it comes out October 29th. So it's not out yet.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the same time The Last Night in Soho comes out, Edgar Wright's film.
Yeah,
but
the only difference is that this is coming out on Steam.
Yeah, Steam.
Netflix. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Well, hopefully it'll be somewhat better because it's not directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know.
It is directed by the main character though. So.
Who knows? Anyways, back to this shit. So like other than her and maybe the German guy and maybe about Dave Bautista, everyone else wasn't likable and not really interesting at all. So whenever they died, there wasn't that much of an effect.
And then some of them died in weird, stupid ways.
Yeah.
Like okay, fucking evil security officer guy, he died all right. He was the bad guy who tried to screw everybody over for the former casino owner who's got more money than God, right?
Yeah.
So he like screws everybody over actively, and then he leaves with like the head of one of the alpha zombies, and the zombie tiger kills him by throwing him around a lot and then eating him, right?
Yeah. The only reason
that was a good death, but just done in a bad way.
Yeah, because you can tell, like I for me personally, I could tell that when because it looked off. So like when the tiger tried to pick him up, you can tell like it looked like it was like a delay whenever he would move around. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's why I wasn't really as affected, because I noticed like there was like these delays of him like going across like this or that or this and that. So it looked like they didn't really work with like someone else, like a puppeteer or something like that. So and that it's like, okay, he died by a zombie tiger. That's kind of all right. And then like they try to introduce like this different type of zombie, which is like an alpha zombie. And they also were about to introduce zombie babies, specifically a zombie giving birth to a zombie baby.
which is just fucking
Yeah.
like what? Like
And also
I
there's
believe you mean a Zabi.
a Zaby.
Zaby.
It doesn't, unless it's like supposed to build up to a sequel. It doesn't make sense because they get fucking annihilated by spoiler. They get annihilated by a nuclear bomb. So there was no point in showing
Yeah.
like I'm pregnant.
But
Okay,
even
you're gonna get fucking killed anyway.
You
yeah.
had to show that the original evil zombie.
Charlie
Oh my
horse.
god. Oh,
Robin dropped
Sorry.
the plate. Rut.
No, I randomly just got a fucking cramp in my fucking
Oh.
leg.
well, everybody,
Oh,
Robin's leaving the show for a few minutes. Robin, just go ahead and mute yourself. Deal with your cramp.
yeah.
We'll get Squiggles, the jabbering squirrel, in here.
Oh.
I know Squiggles. I also thought that the show was pretty shitty. Yeah, Squiggles, you character. We can't say that on
Squiggles.
live Twitch. Will you get the hell out of here, Squiggles? You
Oh my
leave.
god.
Yeah, well.
Uh,
All right. Squiggles
Also-
said something, and we apologize.
yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I guess Squiggle. It wasn't Squiggle's day today, but sometimes he's like that most of the days.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And Squiggle.
yeah. But also, Will, did you notice that there was these zombies that had glowing blue eyes? I don't know if you
Yes,
saw that.
because those were all made from the alpha, or not the alpha. They were made from the betas that the alpha
Mhm.
made, and then
Was it?
they.
Because I've only
I don't know.
because I know
See, it's all that's what's so confusing about it.
because they're bringing like they only explain it for like a very short time, but like it's like so weird. And also with the zombie baby, it's like it sounded like they were trying to build it up for something, but not only did the nukes exploded Las Vegas, but it was she died before the nuke ever came in. They killed and beheaded the zombie queen.
Well, right, but
Yeah.
we needed a reason to explain why Big Papa Zombie, who was the Mega Alpha, was so angry about why Queen Alpha Zombie was murdered. It's because Big Papa Zombie loved Queen Alpha Zombie,
Yeah.
and they were having a Zaby together. That's why he goes to full scale war with Dave Batista and the rest of the not so fun time crew.
Yeah.
Also, they cut the head off of the queen, and they were gonna sell its head to make money, because
Yeah.
he didn't care about the $200 million in the vault.
Yeah, it was the main guy that was working for the other guy that told him like go to this heist. But he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the bodyguard for whatever," and he was gonna bring the head to them because that's what they really wanted, because they wanted to control zombies, and they were just there to let them die. But then he dies and all that shit. But then through the whole film, it was just kind of dumb. But I think I didn't get pissed off until towards the end when the daughter literally ran off to try to save them without anything with her, and she gets captured, and it's like, what did you expect, you little bitch? And
Yeah, you who has absolutely no military training.
Yeah. And like
Dave Batista told you not to do something, and then you did
It was
it.
also literally given a gun just that morning
Yeah.
and was not trained how to use the gun.
at all.
But who knew how to shoot really well because reasons. And also Dieter was given a gun and shot a couple of beer bottles and did
Mhm.
really well, and then the zombies attacked and he totally just shot them all in the head, right? Like
Yeah.
he was really good. I guess it was German engineering. But like,
and it's so weird because like no one, not even like the main bad guy that's in there, does not like interfere with the daughter at all. And it's like literally, if she wasn't there, the only two people that would have lived through this was Dave Bautista and the pilot.
Yeah.
That's it. But because she had to be in the fucking movie like a little bitch. They're
Okay,
like,
maybe we calm down on the use of just calling her a bitch every
yeah.
5
I
seconds.
was
Well,
about to say,
Well, here's the thing.
like, I
I'm calling the character it, not the actress. The actress, it's like you separate the actress from the character. That's a different thing. Like I respect the actor. She did what she did her best with
This
what she was
PSA is
what she.
brought to you by Edgar trying to get us all canceled and brought down with him as he lays
Hey,
in the hole which
we've all
he's
done
dug
something to
here.
cancel us in this episode today.
I've literally said nothing wrong ever.
I
Ever. I apologize for being perfect, but Robin? No, back to Edgar, back to Edgar.
so as they were saying, Dave Bautista's daughter just goes in and gets herself kidnapped and stuff by the zombie, which it's weird. I don't know why they don't explain why the main alpha zombie has has captured these humans and lets them live, and they're just in this room. They never
Oh, that's alluded to.
to
Okay, when Big Papa Zombie bites you
uh-huh, because I know.
and presumably doesn't eat you entirely. I assume that the zombies eat people, and then once they're fully eaten, they can't become zombies. But anyway, once Big Papa Zombie bites you, you become an alpha zombie, right?
Yeah.
And we know that he had a queen zombie, and that the queen zombie was carrying Big Papa Alpha Zombie's baby.
Hmm.
So he wanted a harem of zombies, women
I
alpha zombies to have zabies with.
I guess, but what makes it weird is like there's other female alphas that are part of that like zombie alpha group, but the only one that was pregnant that he focused on was the main one that was there when she died. So
Right? Because he's got to have the cream of the crop, and he wants the nicest and most murderous zombie women to be in his harem, but he's an equal opportunity uh eater. He'll eat ladies and gentlemen, and you know just because you're an evil tyrannical general of the army of the dead doesn't make you, a sexist, Edgar. He sometimes he likes to eat women, and sometimes he likes to eat women to turn them into alpha zombies so that he can have them as his wives. And some of
um
those wives, but not all of them, he might try to have a zaby with, a zombie baby. So,
um
this is a bad movie, Edgar. Don't apply logic to everything. I mean, I just had to jump through several hoops to explain his locked up women narrative.
uh,
Which, by the way, Zack Snyder, maybe we can talk about the locked up women narrative, huh?
yeah. Well, at the same time, that's a lot of like what Zack Snyder he did that with Justice League, where he uses like gods and stuff. Like that alpha zombie was staring at a statue of Zeus, which was like his own way of like telling like a metaphorically kind of meaning and stuff. And lots of his meanings that he try to puts in his film can come out as dumb. Like in Batman v Superman, can be coming out as ridiculous. And sure, like I can apply the logic in here, but it's like we're stretching through hoops to try to explain these things that aren't explained. Because all I want, at least to explain it a bit, so we can understand what's going on. Because other than that, it just gets confusing, and it just gets stupider, and I get more mad towards the end of the film specifically. Like there's that scene where like, oh, here's the one where it's like, oh, like the helicopter girl's like, oh, I might not be here or not, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go save my daughter, and he goes and he saves the daughter, and he tries to save everyone else. They go in, and him and his daughter are outside, and the other lady, and they're like, oh no, she actually left, and she's like, oh man, she left us behind, and then a couple of seconds later, that she's like, wait, do you guys hear that? And from the building, it just floats up, and it's a helicopter with, and I'm like, are helicopters quiet? Do they stay quiet for a long time?
you would have
Oh
heard it.
yeah, this
Yeah.
helicopter from 1932, because it's the shittiest helicopter we've all ever seen, and thank God Tig Notaro said this is a piece of shit in the movie. Yeah, no, they actually had stealth technology. until you were roughly 30 yards from them. And then it was just, helicopter sounds. We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
And then the helicopter lands and everyone's like, oh yeah, and like everyone tries to get on. And for some reason, we have to have that stupid moment where the daughter and Dave Bautista are looking at each other and smiling like hee hee hoo hoo. And I'm just like, get on the fucking copter.
When did they become trains? Hee hee hoo hoo.
And it's like they're like just smiling at each other for like a good like minute, and it's like, why the fuck are you just standing there? Get on the fucking plane. And what a surprise, the main alpha zombie's right there, and he's like, grr, you guys took too long and I just got here on time.
And I just got here on time.
And then they're like, oh no, he came on time. How did he do that? Oh no. And then Helicopter Girl sacrifices herself. I think they're like, oh no, and the other people die, and then the plane's like fighting, and the gun is perfectly stable on the plane when it's like not plane, helicopter.
That's what a helicopter sounds like.
And then the main alpha zombie's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, Dave Bautista, and he's all like, oh
Except
no,
he's more like zombie noises.
And Dave Bautista's like, I don't understand you. And then he bites Dave Bautista like, ow, that hurt. And his daughter's like, oh no. And she shoots, she perfectly shoots the zombie in the head and it explodes. And then the plane goes and it falls and crashes. And somehow everyone dies, and except the daughter, she's like perfectly fine. And Babe Bautista's all right, but he's like bitten. He's like, daughter, you have to kill me. And she's like, no, I don't want to kill you, daddy. No, you mean a lot to me.
She doesn't call him daddy. At no point does she call him daddy.
I'm making a different story. Okay. No, father, don't die, please. And Dave Bautista's like, you have to kill me. You can't let me run around like this.
Except Dave Bautista's actually like, you've got to kill me. I've changed actors right at the end of the film. We did the thing. We got Arnold. You have to. And she's like, I'll easily kill you. Die.
She's just had to picture Arnold Schwarzenegger as her dad. Damn.
I'm your father. I killed your mother because she turned into a zombie like me.
And then she perfectly shoots him in the head. And unlike the other people, like their brains blow out like crazy with those bullets, he only gets a hole in the head, and he's like, ugh.
Well, she used the magical "I go a lot slower" bullets, where it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. And to explain the ending, like the full ending, before we get there, we got to explain how we get to that shitty ending, which. You know how the locksmith is. He's gonna unlock the locksmith, and the main zombie guy, alpha zombie guy. You guys remember him? He was attacking them in that hall, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stop you all," because everyone was like, "Yay, we're getting the money!" But like, "Oh no, zombie!" And they're and one of the guys, he's the one with the chainsaw thing. And he's like, "Oh no, he's about to get bitten by the zombie," but they don't show it until locksmith man saves the day and punches him in the head, and he's all like, no,
locksmith man, take me by the hand
to the Holy Land. And he's like, no, my friend, you go in the lock room that locks you in. I will protect you. And he pushes him in, and then he gets killed by the zombies. And the chainsaw man's like, no. And it's like a slow-mo thing to make you feel emotional. And they're like, no. And he gets locked in. And so you're like, what happens to that guy? Because you would just assume that he just instantly died because a giant nuke bomb exploded in Las Vegas and killed everyone there. Nope. As the song "Zombie" starts playing, he was able to open the lock thing. And Robin, you know about nuclear bombs, right?
Yeah.
So when a nuclear bomb explodes a place around there, can anybody like fully survive in that radiation place, or is it filled with
Uh,
radiation?
so what would have happened was I don't doubt that he probably would have survived the blast because he's deep underground in a safe.
Mhm.
But with him coming out of there, he is going to be exposed to a shit ton of radiation. So he's probably going to try to walk out and probably not even make it to the airport that he eventually makes without getting severely sick because of how much radiation he has just induced.
So
Yeah, but he was, but here's where the movie does the thing, because as Edgar was alluding to, he
Mhm.
was bitten by the zombie,
Yeah,
and he was slowly being affected by the zombie poison, which zombies produce in their salivary poison glands, and we assume, and
we assume.
so he was dying slowly and being turned into a zombie. And zombies are not affected by radiation, but they are
oh.
affected by fire and bullets and knives and blunt force trauma
There we go.
and I don't know, probably uh, uh,
Crates.
shards of glass. Probably they might have food allergies. I don't know,
Oh.
but we can I jump in here real quick, Edgar?
Yes. Yes,
Can
you
we
may.
talk about the fact that Big Papa Zombie Daddy was wearing a cape and a mask? What kind of Andrew Lloyd Webber, The Phantom of the Opera Zombie edition is this movie? The man had a fucking cloak and a armored mask, like he was about to. The Phantom of the Opera wants brains inside your head. Let me bite you. Sing for me, Tig Notaro. Anyway, yeah, that was weird. The Phantom of the Opera Zombie edition right at the end was weird. And if somebody on the internet hasn't turned that scene, the scenes where he's wearing the full-on cape, he also at one point has a scepter made out of like wrought iron and a skull. It's just a
Yeah.
dead head on a stick, and he's just like, "This is my scepter as I stand upon the Statue of Liberty here in Las Vegas and look down upon my kingdom.
Watch me roar.
Roar.
Watch me roar." And then he goes, "Yeah," and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, it's a big one.
Oh
It's a
man.
big guy. You can tell because he's got the stick with
It's
the
like,
skull on it."
I mean, he's indestructible. He's got that Phantom of the Opera mask on and a cape. I mean, you can't kill him. He's
Right.
a superhuman. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it looks
And no
really.
bullets can travel through it.
Yeah,
Not one.
it was made out of titanium or vibranium or some shit.
It was made out of the pain of centuries of zombie oppression. You can't shoot through it and you can't ignore it. The zombies of Las Vegas who have lived there now for, I don't know. This movie doesn't really give a timeline.
Yeah.
There's a new president, could be 4 years, 5 years, 28 years, who knows? The daughter was a child, I think, and now she's older. Who knows? The Phantom of the Opera's a dude, and he's zombie.
Zombie
Do
man.
do do do. Um,
and
yeah,
and the at the end of the movie, it's like, alrighty guys, we're gonna be landing in New Mexico in just a couple of minutes, so just get in your seats and stuff. And the guy just laughs and he's all like, oh, F word, fuck. And then movie
what the
ends.
hell, Edgar? F word, fuck. Say it. Aw, damn.
Yeah.
Like, like you did. Oh, Edgar, never change.
And then
Analyze yourself.
and the movie ends with the song "Zombie eh, eh, in your head," and that's how the movie ends.
I mean, I can't. I will be honest. I do like the soundtrack, but that's really it.
um,
I
Okay, yeah, the songs were banger.
yeah
Like we
they
can all
had
agree.
they had some good choices, so
yeah.
I was
This
like,
is
all right.
the end, and that's all we can sing.
I do like
uh,
that cover of Bad Mood Rising.
mm,
I thought that
I
was a pretty
did
good
like
cover.
the reference to Las Vegas. Oh, that was cool.
yeah.
Man, they referenced Las Vegas a lot. Hey, here's to Las Vegas, a town that doesn't get any representation in any movies ever. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
guys,
Uh, uh,
guys.
Don't leave me hanging here, guys.
Don't leave
Guys.
me hanging here.
please.
Um,
Um,
please. All right.
unless
Ed-
unless
Ed-
there's unless there's anything else you would like to discuss of Army of the Dead, we could proceed to our overall thoughts and ratings.
I got one more thing.
Already.
Why the fuck is one of the guards at this place a rapist? And that's just a thing they threw in here. There's literally a guard at the quarantine camp
Yeah.
who is in fact a rapist,
They
and nobody reported him to somebody in charge because he's still there. And the only way they could get rid of him was to literally sacrifice him. And by the way, this was at the end of the camp's existence. So they're evacuating the camp. Rapist guard has been there, we can assume, the entire time. Then
yeah.
they evacuate the camp because incoming thermonuclear device. And they only get rid of him when the camp's being evacuated. He gets hired on for $20,000 to go into Las Vegas illegally. And they sacrifice his ass to Big Papa Voodoo Daddy Zombie Boy and his queen and their security guard friend, like the other alpha that isn't the real alpha. He's just the
Yeah.
other one. And then he comes back because Big Daddy Voodoo King Zombie Boy bit him because apparently he likes assholes like this rapist security guard. And he comes back to be a problem. So they have to kill him twice. Nobody was around to report this guy? Not a single person was like,
I
hey,
guess
I realize that we're in a quarantine camp set up by the government, but also that guy's a rapist. Fuck you, Schneider. You make me angry at your characters. The bad ones suck and the good ones aren't even that good. Let's rate this thing now that I've gotten that piece of shit dealt with.
Yeah. We'll start with Robin. Robin, what are your overall thoughts and ratings on Army of the Dead?
I fucking hate this movie. And I hated you for having to rewatch it. At least me. I like the music in it. I like the helicopter actor that I can never get her name. What's her name, Will?
Tig Notaro.
Tig Notaro. I like her. I kind of like Dieter, but no, just like him. Not even. He's not great at all, but I don't know. Fuck this movie. 1 out of 5. It's not worse than Bloodbeat, but
Yeah.
End of sentence.
Oh.
yeah, I'm done.
Mr. Will, what about you? What are your overall thoughts and ratings of Army of the Dead?
I'm gonna give Tig Notaro 5 stars.
Same here. I give Tig Notaro 5 stars, but the movie one out of 5.
Tig Notaro gets 5 stars. In fact, Tig Notaro getting 5 stars in this movie allows me to give this movie um a 2. No, a 1.5. It gets a 1.5 because Tig Notaro's scenes were all gold. I don't care that Tig Notaro wasn't with anybody when they were filming. She did good and she's funny. And go look up her comedy because she is great. Also, this movie is dog shit. The writing is bad. The characters aren't likable or understandable. There's dead pixels apparently that I didn't realize because I wasn't watching this movie too closely. I'm not gonna lie, because fuck, it wasn't good. I like the reference to Siegfried and Roy's Tigers. I thought that was funny. They didn't want it to be, but it was. And also, um, why was there like she's French or something and she's a smuggler and I don't know. There's a lot of like international cast in this quarantined Las Vegas. Nothing made sense. 1.5 stars.
Yeah.
Only see it if you like pain. Edgar.
I'm giving this one a 1.5 stars as well. The whole movie was a missed opportunity to just focus on what they should have focused, was the intro of the film. None of the character, for me personally, none of the characters were interesting at all. None of them made me laugh or entertained. The story was shit. Everything was shit. Um, the soundtrack was all right. The towards the ending got me really angry. The aesthetic or the visuals, the blurriness was a terrible choice to do. This movie took itself to it could have been fun if it didn't take itself as seriously as it did, but it did take itself seriously, so a lot of the things that they try to do weren't funny or didn't entertain me at all. It was kind of a boring slog to get through, and I wouldn't really recommend this movie to anyone unless you want to just experience this and see it. I know some people said that they had fun with it. um Good for you. For me personally, I didn't get any entertainment value from it. I just felt like it was just another bad Snyder film that he's made recently. As it's not good. It's not great. So 1.5 stars for me. And yep, that does it for our Army of the Dead review. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to end it just yet. We got to do our untitled segment idea. So without further ado, intro's going to start right over here. So 1, 2, 3. Untitled segment idea. So we're going to start with Robin. Hey, Robin. Yo, what have you recently seen, watched, read, etc., 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 etc.?
Well, I've been playing a lot of FIFA 22, but I had got a chance to try out the Battlefield 2042 beta.
Mm.
And all I could say is that because it's a beta, the game is kind of broken.
uh,
Yeah. Hang on a second.
oh, oh,
Hanging on.
Anyway, so
yes.
so Battlefield 2042 is fun. It's just there's a lot of game breaking glitching, not game breaking. There's a lot of glitches and shit. The map that they had was fucking huge. It is the biggest map that I've ever played on a Battlefield game, and it is just fantastic. It is. I think it's if the full version is fixed and is not having these weird seizure type glitches happening. I think the game will be pretty good. I also really like the on the fly attachment changes that you can do. Um,
Mm.
which is a pretty neat thing that they're adding. I'm also excited to find out about Battlefield Portal, where um, it'll have like, oh, what if you had World War II German soldiers fighting against modern day um, soldiers? It's basically like a modding game mode. where they actually give you the options to mod stuff in the game using what they would use at EA or at DICE or whatever.
Mm.
So it's interesting. I'm excited for it. So that's what I played. So
Nice.
that's all I got.
Mr. Will, what have you recently watched, seen,
What?
read, etc., etc., etc.?
Oh, I got a real quick question first. Do you think fish know that they look like that? Anyway, um, I think it's a legitimate question. Do you think fish know that they look like that?
I
Like
don't.
with gills and shit. I don't know. But anyway, what I've been looking what? Oh right. I've been playing some games. I've been doing the Red Dead stuff. I've been really hooked into they got me hooked. They got me doing uh, trade missions and all that. And there's like Red Dead has this new thing where they have four like mini outlaw passes, and I've done every single one of them and completed them. That means I get the free Halloween pass.
Oh, nice.
And I recently am attempting to do the moonshiner role, which is harder when I'm doing it by myself because there's like these two setup missions, and one of them's to like rescue this cook. And I fucked it up the first time because the cook died. But I'm gonna try to do it again. Get some moonshine running in Red Dead and have a good time with that.
Nice.
Also, I've you know, been hanging out, been I did that yeah, not much. Not not too much. I'm really kind of mad that we did Man in the High Castle the other week because now I really want to watch that show all over again, and boy howdy that was a ride the first time, and it's gonna be a ride the second time. It,
I after we were done, I actually finished watching the rest of them.
yeah, because it's like a good show, and I
Yeah.
like I've been fighting myself to be like, nah, you already watched it. You want to do it again? And be like, yeah, I do. I'm gonna watch it again. So I'm probably gonna start that, but only only after I continue watching um Shameless because that's a good show, and
Ah.
I'm intermittingly watching some Supernatural because there's 58 goddamn seasons of it and it goes on forever. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. Edgar, what have you recently what do you do?
uh, what I've done, I finally got back to playing Ghost of Tsushima, because I was playing some other games while I was doing that, and hopefully soon, probably next week, when I could get my hands on my Switch for a while, I could be playing the new Metroid Dread, which came out on Friday, which I'm fucking stoked for. I'm excited to try that out. But what I watched recently, I was like, you know what? I want to rewatch it because I remember enjoying it. So I started rewatching Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, the Netflix animated movie they made. It's pretty damn funny. If you haven't seen Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, I highly recommend it. If you love Invader Zim, you'll get a kick out of it. And if you've never seen Invader Zim, give this a try. It's a pretty funny show, and it's a pretty funny movie too. So I highly recommend that. Enter the Florpus. It's on Netflix. It's a pretty damn fun one.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I guess with that out of the way, I think it's time to end the show. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as we end the show, just follow us on all our social medias that we have so you could get on updates on when we go live or when episodes are up on our Spotify's or YouTube's. And if you like to hear us or you just want to see what we post randomly, follow us on our socials. Robin's got a social. I got a social. Robin's got a Twitter. I got a Twitter. And Will's got a Twitter. And Will,
Yeah.
We'll put he tweets frequently, so if you want to see what he's up to on those days, just give him a follow. Give Robin a follow. Or give me a follow. And of course, we're always going to say it as well. We thank Garudin for making our theme that we have. And you could go follow him on his Spotify and listen to more of his good old tunes. And if you're not part of our Discord, join us in our Discord so you can be part of our growing community and, get our other scoops or join us on anything and all those stuff. And of course, on our Twitch or anywhere, follow us, subscribe to us, and all that goody stuff to get future episodes and future stuff whenever we stream or whenever we can, especially on this Spooktober night, on this Spooktober season. So, of course, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. Any last words from our good, lovely co-hosts, Will and Robin?
Yeah. Don't see this film.
Don't see it. Don't watch it.
You don't need to watch it. You heard it from us. You don't need to watch it. You already got everything you just needed here. And thank you all for watching. We love you all. Hope to see you guys soon in another episode. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Come back next week. Give us a subscription on the things.
It was a good thing. We love you. Robin,
Bye,
Robin, say something, Robin. Bye-bye.
What?
Wait. Oh, no, he ran away. Robin went to another dimension. Oh, shit.